and you mourn them softly. The old self, the restless one, the one who could not sit still. But you do not regret them. They carried you here. They were the bridge. And now, you are home. Home, not a place, but a state of being. You no longer seek it in others, in possessions, in destinations. You've built it within. Your peace no longer depends on weather, or words, or fortune. You have become the mountain, unshaken, rooted, still. And from that stillness, a new kind of power emerges. The power to love freely, to give without fear of loss, to speak truth without fear of judgment, to stand alone without feeling lonely. That is true strength. To need nothing, and yet to love everything. You start seeing life itself as an act of service, not to others, but to the universe. You live well, because to live well is to honor the gift of existence. You suffer gracefully, because to suffer gracefully is to prove the soul cannot be broken. You die consciously, because to die consciously is to complete the circle with peace. The stars above fade into dawn. The first light touches the horizon. The world begins again, and so do you. You rise quietly. No speeches, no noise, just awareness. And in that awareness, there is joy. Not the loud joy of excitement, but the quiet joy of understanding. You whisper to yourself, everything I need I already have. And you walk into the day, not as someone searching, but as someone seeing beauty in imperfection, seeing strength in surrender, seeing eternity in this single breath. For the Stoics were never trying to escape life. They were trying to live it fully, wisely, and well. And now, so are you. So when the world breaks again, as it surely will, remember, you have stood in fire before, and you did not burn. You became light when the storm returns. Remember, you are not the wind, you are the sky. When darkness falls, remember, it's only revealing the brilliance you carry within. And when your final day arrives, you will not beg for more time. You will simply close your eyes and whisper, I lived. Silence, the kind of silence that is not empty, but complete. And in that silence, it's not that you don't feel. You feel everything, but you no longer let it rule you. You still grieve, you still love, you still fall, but you rise, calm, steady, awake. You start to live like the ocean, always moving, never losing itself. People come and go like tides. Moments crash, then recede, and still, the ocean remains. That is your nature now. To remain, not to escape the storm, but to become its still center. There are days you will forget this. Days when the mind will drown in thought, when the heart will ache, when the weight of being human will feel too much to bear. But that's when you return to the breath, one breath, the only thing ever truly yours. The Stoics spoke of it often. Epictetus said, seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly. And so, you breathe, you surrender, you allow. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. You realize resistance is suffering, surrender is strength, because life was never meant to be controlled, only lived. And in that living, you find freedom. You stop being at war with what is. You stop trying to bend time, or people, or destiny. You simply walk your path, step by step, present, grateful. You watch the seasons change, without fear, because you too have learned to change gracefully. The person you were had to die for this peace to live. Night falls. The stars appear one by one, as if the universe itself is breathing slowly again. You walk beneath their glow, feeling small, but not insignificant, because smallness is not weakness. It's truth. It's clarity. You finally understand what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world outside has always been chaos, wars, loss, noise, endings. But within you, there is something untouchable, a quiet observer, a flame that never dies. It does not fight the world. It watches, it learns, it endures. And in that endurance, you find serenity. You used to think peace was somewhere to get to, a destination, a reward after struggle. Now you know, peace is not a place. It's a posture. It's how you stand when the wind rises. It's how you breathe when pain returns. It's how you love when the world forgets you. Peace is choosing stillness. When the mind wants to rage, it's forgiving. when you have every reason not to. It's surrendering control, and yet refusing to give up. You realize the greatest act of strength is not to win, but to remain gentle in a world that glorifies hardness. You no longer need to prove your worth. You no longer measure yourself by progress or applause, because what matters is not how far you go, but how deeply you live. Depth, that is the true measure of a soul, and depth is born in silence, not in achievement. You remember all the nights you sat alone, your chest heavy with invisible weight. You remember the prayers that never came true, the apologies you never received, the people who never came back. Those moments, you thought they were breaking you, but now you see they were building you. Every moment of pain was chiseling away the unnecessary, carving your heart into something honest, raw, and real. You are no longer afraid of suffering. You see it for what it is. The doorway to awakening. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold, and adversity tests the brave." You've been through fire, and you have not burned. You've been shaped. The world may not see it, but you do. Your patience, once weakness, has become armor. Your humility, once unseen, has become strength. And now, when life brings new trials, you do not panic, you breathe. You adapt. You remind yourself. This too is part of the path. The Stoics did not resist fate. They embraced it. Amor fati. Love your fate, not just accept it. Love it. Love the pain, for it teaches you resilience. Love the loneliness, for it teaches you presence. Love the uncertainty, for it teaches you trust. Everything that arrives is meant to, everything that leaves is meant to. Fate does not make mistakes. It shapes. You stop wishing for things to go your way and begin asking, how can I walk this way with dignity? That's where your power lies, not in control, but in composure. You understand now. Stoicism is not detachment. It's devotion to reason, to virtue, to peace. You think of all you've lost, the people, the dreams, the time, and for once, you do not mourn. You simply bow your head and whisper, thank you, because even loss is a kind of gift. It clears space. It humbles you. It teaches you to cherish what remains. You have learned that life is not long. It is fragile. It is fleeting. And yet, it is enough. Because the measure of a life is not in its length, but in its depth. And depth is carved by pain. So you stop wishing for comfort. You wish for depth instead. You wish to feel fully, to love deeply, to live meaningfully, to die peacefully. You wish to leave behind not noise, but silence. A silence that speaks. You remember Seneca. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. And you smile, because you finally understand. You understand why the Stoics never chased happiness. They cultivated peace. You understand why they never feared death. They feared never living. You understand why they sought virtue. Because in a world that changes, virtue remains. And you, in your quiet room, in your simple breath, feel that truth pulse through your veins. You are not what has happened to you. You are what you choose to become. You are not the noise. You are the space between it. You are not the storm. You are the stillness beneath it. You are not the shadow. You are the light that casts it. And when morning comes again, you rise, not with excitement, not with dread, but with purpose, to meet the day as it is, to act with reason, to love with patience, to endure with grace. And in doing so, you live as the Stoics lived. Not perfectly, but intentionally. You realize there is no final enlightenment, no perfect peace waiting at the end. There is only this, the eternal practice of returning to yourself again and again, breath by breath, moment by moment. And as the years pass, you will see it was never about conquering the world. It was about mastering your own soul. You were never meant to escape life's storms. You were meant to become the calm within them. So, when the sun sets one last time and the world grows quiet, you will not fear the darkness. You will smile because you lived awake. And that is enough. Motivation fades, but habits endure. You create rituals, simple, powerful, quiet. You wake with the dawn. You move your body. You feed your mind. You tend to your soul. No one sees it. No one claps. No one praises you. But that's how true greatness grows. In silence, in solitude, in the unseen. You learn to work without seeking reward, to serve without needing thanks, to love without demanding return. You no longer measure your worth by recognition, but by integrity. And slowly, life begins to mirror your inner peace. The chaos remains, but you are no longer part of it. You walk through the world as if carrying an invisible flame, one that cannot be extinguished by the cold of others. People will misunderstand you. They will call your calm indifference, your silence pride, your discipline obsession. Let them, for the Stoic does not argue with the crowd. He simply lives differently, and his life becomes his philosophy. You stop explaining yourself. You start embodying truth. You stop defending your choices. You start aligning with them. You no longer crave to be right. You crave to be wise, and wisdom rarely shouts. It whispers, it breathes, it waits. You begin to find beauty in the things that do not shout. A leaf trembling in the wind, a flicker of candlelight, a moment of stillness between heartbeats. You realize that all of life is built on rhythm, tension and release, chaos and calm, birth and decay. You are not meant to resist it. You are meant to dance with it. To live stoically is not to suppress emotion. It is to understand it, to see it clearly, and to choose your response consciously. Anger will visit you. So will fear. So will grief. Welcome them all, but do not let them stay. They are travelers. You are home. You sit in the stillness of evening. The city hums in the distance. You close your eyes, and the weight of years rests softly on your shoulders. You open your eyes, and the world has not changed, but you have. The same noise, the same chaos, the same faces passing by, yet everything feels softer, as if life itself is exhaling with you. You walk outside. The morning air bites your skin, but it feels real, and that somehow is enough. You see the people rushing, chasing time, chasing approval, chasing noise, and you think, how strange it is that we run so fast and call it living. You move slower now, not because you are tired, but because you are awake. You feel the ground beneath your feet, the weight of your body, the rhythm of your steps, and you whisper to yourself, this moment is mine. You remember Epictetus? If you wish to be happy, make your desires few. So you begin to strip away the need to prove, the need to please, the need to be seen. You realize you were never meant to carry it all. The opinions, the expectations, the burdens of others. You are only responsible for the kingdom within your mind. That is where the battle always was. And when you win there, nothing outside can defeat you. The storms still come. They always will. But now, you know how to stand in the rain. You don't curse the sky anymore. You let the water fall. You let it cleanse you, not destroy you. You remember Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And you see the truth of it unfold. Every obstacle was never there to stop you. It was there to strengthen you. You stop asking life to be easy. You ask only to be strong, because ease breeds apathy. Struggle breeds greatness. You begin to see yourself differently now, not as a victim of fate, but as a student of it. Every pain a lesson, every delay a teacher, every failure a mirror. You no longer run from discomfort. You invite it. You sit with it like an old friend and ask, what are you here to show me? And in that conversation, you begin to grow. You start to see that mastery is not a single victory. It's a lifelong discipline. You will fail again. You will fall again. You will doubt again. But this time, you'll know how to rise. You'll rise slower, wiser, calmer, because you've learned that the strongest tree is not the one that never bends. It's the one that bends without breaking. You stop chasing motivation. You start building momentum. You no longer pray for ease. You pray for endurance. You no longer seek comfort. You seek clarity. You no longer ask, why me? You ask, what can I learn from this? Because life is not against you. It's refining you. You are not unlucky. You are being shaped. The pain that once broke you is now your foundation. The loneliness that once hollowed you is now your space for growth. The uncertainty that once scared you is now your invitation to trust. You begin to understand. Nothing was wasted. Every moment of despair was carving depth into your soul. Every heartbreak was expanding your capacity to love. Every loss was reminding you of what truly matters. You stand at the edge of a new dawn, and for the first time, you feel still. Not because life is perfect, but because you no longer need it to be. You've made peace with imperfection. with the changing, the breaking, the becoming. You are no longer chasing meaning. You are living it. Because meaning is not found in what you get, but in how you give. Not in what you control, but in how you respond. And you see, the Stoics never told you to escape emotion. They told you to master it. To feel deeply, but not drown. To love fiercely, but without attachment. To act with purpose, but without expectation. You understand now, peace is not something you seek. It's something you return to. It was always within you, buried under noise, fear, and longing. You strip it all away. The pride, the pretending, the pain, and what remains is you. Simple, still, enough. You close your eyes, and for the first time in years, you don't wish to be anywhere else. Because this breath, this heartbeat, this moment is everything. And you finally see that you were never lost. You were only waiting to come home to yourself. You are the calm within the storm. You are the flame that endures the wind. You are the mountain that watches the seasons pass. And though time will take everything, it cannot take who you become. So live wisely, love quietly, act bravely, endure nobly. And when the world forgets your name, let it, for you were never here to be remembered. You were here to remember what it means to truly live. Silence, the breath, the moment, the self, all one. Not because fate is kind, but because it is yours. You understand. Every loss was guidance. Every mistake was redirection. Every wound was an awakening. The pieces that hurt the most were the ones that taught you what cannot be taken. Your strength, your peace, your character. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." So that's your work now. To master the self, to tame the chaos within, to be unmoved by praise or blame, to walk steady when others stumble, to act with virtue, not for applause, but for alignment. Because you know now, character is destiny, and destiny is built moment by moment. You look up at the night sky. The stars, distant, eternal, remind you how small you are, and yet, how meaningful your effort still is. You exist for a breath of time, but within that breath, you can choose to live with greatness, to think with reason, to act with purpose, to love with presence. You remember Seneca's words, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." So you vow to waste no more. No more waiting for perfect conditions. No more postponing your becoming. You understand now, discipline is not restriction. It is liberation. It frees you from chaos, from addiction, from weakness. It makes you light, focused, unshakable. You begin to walk differently, not faster, but with intention. Every step, a declaration that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise. Not for validation, but because that's what strength does. Fear of failure is really fear of seeing who you are without success. Fear of loneliness is really fear of facing yourself without noise. Fear of time is really fear of realizing how much of it you've wasted. But even that realization is grace, because now you can begin. The present moment, that quiet sacred thing, is all that's ever been yours. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." And so you begin again. Not tomorrow, not after you heal. Now, you start by forgiving yourself for all the times you betrayed your own potential. You forgive yourself for chasing people who never stayed. You forgive yourself for breaking and thinking it meant you were weak. You forgive the younger you, the one who didn't know better, the one who was just trying to survive. And slowly, you begin to rebuild. You pick up your purpose like a sword covered in dust. You polish it with honesty. You sharpen it with pain. Because pain, when faced, becomes wisdom. And wisdom, when lived, becomes peace. You walk into the evening, the sun sinking behind the horizon, a burning reminder that endings can be beautiful too. You sit in the dim light and think about how much time you've spent running from yourself, from silence, from truth. But the Stoics remind you, it's not death we should fear, but never beginning to live. You realize life is not happening to you, it's responding to you. Your thoughts shape your days, your habits shape your destiny. So you start small. You wake earlier, you breathe slower, you speak less, you listen more. You stop trying to impress and start trying to improve. You stop comparing paths and start walking yours. You start seeing life as training, a constant test of the soul's endurance, and every hardship, every heartbreak, every failure becomes your teacher. You understand now, the world is not cruel, it's indifferent, and within that indifference lies freedom. Because if the world doesn't owe you anything, you can stop waiting, you can start creating. You learn to find beauty in what remains, in the sound of rain, in the stillness of dawn, in the laughter that slips through pain. You learn that peace is not the absence of struggle, it's the mastery of it. You are tested again. Someone betrays you, something falls apart, the plan fails, and the old you would have broken, would have cursed fate, would have drowned in resentment. But the new you observes, feels, breathes, and responds, not from emotion, but from awareness. You whisper, Amor Fati, love of fate. You wake up one morning, and everything feels heavier. The world outside is loud, but inside it's silent. A silence that weighs, a silence that questions. You stare at the ceiling and wonder when it all changed. When did your dreams become memories? When did hope turn into habit? When did life become something you simply endure? You rise, but not because you want to, because you must. And that, Marcus Aurelius once said, is where your power begins. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." So you move, not fast, not proudly, but you move. The sun leaks through your window, soft, indifferent light. It touches your face like a reminder. You are still here, and that means something, because to be alive is to be given another chance to face yourself. Every day, the world will test you. It will whisper your doubts back at you. It will ask, "Who are you?" when no one claps for you. And your answer will not come from words. It will come from the quiet choices, the unseen moments, the discipline no one celebrates. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." And you feel that truth. You wear it in your chest. You carry invisible weights, memories, regrets, promises you never kept. And still, you stand. Not perfectly, not proudly, but still, you walk through the day, surrounded by faces that smile, but rarely see. Everyone fighting silent wars. Everyone pretending. Everyone longing to be understood. And maybe that's what binds us all. This quiet ache beneath our ribs. The longing for meaning, for peace, for purpose. You find yourself lost in thought again. The mind drifts. It replays the past like an old film. Scenes of mistakes, of people who left, of versions of yourself you can't forgive. You whisper to no one, "I could have done better." But then Epictetus reminds you, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about those things. You realize, it's not the past that hurts, it's your refusal to let it rest. You are the wound, and the hand that won't stop touching it. So you breathe. You breathe deeply, as if to remind your body that this moment, this breath, is untouched by the past. The air enters your lungs and leaves, like the tide of forgiveness. And in that simple act, you begin to understand, life doesn't owe you peace. You build it, brick by brick, choice by choice, not in grand gestures, but in the smallest decisions, in how you treat yourself when no one sees you, in how you respond when life denies you, in how you endure when your strength fades. You walk further, and the noise of the world returns. Traffic, voices, notifications, 1,000 distractions asking for your attention. But something in you has shifted. You no longer chase every sound. You no longer seek to escape the stillness. You start to see that silence is not emptiness, it's clarity. And in that clarity, you see your fears, not as monsters, but as mirrors, each one reflecting something you've avoided.